Alright. Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem, Kakadash. But welcome them to the elders, apostles, Akim, Aqua, and I say Shalom. And this is a prophecy update, February 21st, 2025, on this Friday morning. And this is a news article from RT.com as of February the 21st, 2025, and it reads, NATO pose a threat to port infrastructure, Moscow reports. A Russian Security Council has claimed that the U.S.-led bloc is developing a new doctrine for conducting military operations in the seabed. NATO is developing a plan for potential combat operations targeting Russia's port infrastructure in the The Deputy Security Secretary of Country Security Council has claimed. It says in a statement Friday, it says Moscow suggested that U.S.-led military bloc is building up its capacity to target a sea transport, large oil terminal, rail crossing extending for fuel deliveries and large bridges. He noted that the threats poses to Russia's port infrastructure, also including Ukraine's widespread use of unnamed attacks boats in the Black Sea. It says Moscow also reported that the bloc has been developing doctrinal documents for the post for conducting operations on the seaboard. And these missions are being seen by NATO a new type of combat involvement in addition to land, air, space, and cyberspace. It says to address these threats, Mokloskinov said Russian Security Council is recommending that a closer eye be kept on the activities of foreign state. They are capable of creating threats to underwater or critical infrastructure, as well as increasing the effectiveness of these systems and comprehensive protection of these facilities. Last month, NATO announced that it will increase its presence in the Baltic Sea and launch regular patrols as part of the Operation Ballistic Sentry. This came after several incidents of the underwater cables reportedly being damaged in the region, which NATO state blames on Russia. In January, however, the Washington Post said Western intelligence officials concluded that the damage was likely due to maritime incidents, as no evidence of Russian sabotage was found. Moscow denied the accusations, insisting that it has no intention of attacking or interfering with the infrastructure or any NATO member states. Russian officials have condemned the bloc military buildup on its borders. Nikolai Patrusky had added an aide to Russian President Vladimir Putin claimed that the West is trying to deprive Russia of access to the Baltic Sea. Deputy Foreign Minister Alexander Rushchenko stated last month that Russia will do everything necessary to protect its interests in the region and will not allow NATO to turn the Baltic Sea into its own internal lake. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 24, and verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, right? Russia versus Ukraine, signs of wars and rumors of wars. It says, ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled, for all these things must first come to pass, but then it's not yet. Matthew 24, verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation, right? Modern day nation against modern day nations. Russia, Ukraine, and Russia versus NATO. Russia versus the Western countries. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. Right, so we're going to be seeing increasing nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom, increasing famines, pestilence, and earthquakes in diverse places, and an increasing uptick of wars and rumors of wars. As it says, once again, NATO pose threat to port infrastructure. So Even though they traded Zach Levine them away, he's sold. Yeah.
So I gotta give you some motion.
Yeah.
No, I'm throwing that shit out the cabin, but I gotta give that to you.
Oh.
I got a punch ass on me. I can really pipe me in a whole box.
Right.
I got a big box, a little box too. I ain't gonna have no.
Right, as it says, NATO poses a threat to port infrastructure. Moscow reports. Yep. So that's a sign of wars, rumors of wars between NATO and Russia. And this is another news article. As we've been seeing, the Russia-Ukraine situation been intensifying. It says a Russian drone hits the EU-supplied Ukrainian tank. Video reports. The 83rd Guard Air Assault Brigade claims to have taken out a Swedish-designed STRV-122A. It says a Russian drone has taken out a Swedish-designed main battle tank in Ukraine semi-region. One of Moscow's elite units have claimed release of the video of the strike. On Thursday, Russia's 83rd Guard Air Assault Brigade claims to have described 122A. The unit was also released the FPV footage of the alleged attack. It says the tank fifth. It says on Thursday, the 83rd Russian Guard Air Assault Brigade claims to have destroyed a Scribe 122A. The unit released the FPV footage of the alleged attack. It says the tank fifth with a anti-UAV frame roof is seen driving at a high speed across the snowy plain without any cover. The vehicle license version of the German Leopard 2 A5, which is featured in improvements in better command and control and fire control systems and reinforcements. Right, once again, rumors of wars between Russia and Ukraine. U.S. has frozen weapon sales to Ukraine, MP reports. It says White House rebukes Zelensky results. It says Trump very upset with Zelensky. It says IDF accused Hamas returning wrong body, which is potentially going to stir up more tensions, especially with those 3 explosions happening over there in Tel Aviv. So tensions definitely going to be stirring up between, the resistance of the Palestinians and the pro-Iranian groups going against the Israel Defense Force, even though they have a momentary ceasefire between the two sides. But ever since then, they had those ceasefires. They've been blaming each other for the violating the ceasefires, and definitely tensions been stirring up between the two ever since they had that ceasefire for the past 2 or 3 months. Once again, this is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. Right, nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom. So we're definitely going to be seeing rising tensions over there in Western Asia, which is in the Middle East, which is the area is really Western Asia. So we're definitely going to be seeing nuclear escalations heating up, the uprisings and the seditions among the nations over there in the area, throughout that whole region. Throughout Iraq, throughout Syria, throughout Lebanon, different places, the West Bank, the Gaza Strip, Palestinian territory, over there in Tel Aviv, you still going to have escalations heating up between the resistance of the Palestinians going against the Israel Defense Force. That's what you call a primary example of increase in wars and rumors of wars, nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom. It says Trump claims his terrorist threats broke up BRICS, which is not true. It says I mean, if even if the BRICS nations get hit with that tariff threat, they're still not gonna continue building up their alliance, because they're gonna continue building up their alliance between their fellow members, which they've been forming since 2015. So I just want to add a sad note to that. It says Trump claims his terrorist threats broke up BRICS. The U.S. president has reiterated his pledge to cut trade with members of the economic bloc if they try to destroy the dollar. It says, I mean, either way it goes, the American dollar is not going to be the top dollar no more, because we're seeing all these nations turning away from the American dollar and leaning to their own form of currencies. That's why we've seen Iran and Russia turn away from the American dollar. We've seen all these other nations turn away from the American dollar as well too. And we've been seeing the economic alliance between the other nations outside of BRICS as well too, turning away from the American dollar. Ever since then, Donald Trump signed that executive order in January to have the not part of the central digital currency. Ever since then, they've been in the last place as the top global currency. I mean, the top greenback dollar has been dependent on, So we seeing China and other nations are part of that league. So either way it goes, we seeing the last moments of the American dollar, which is greenback dollar, as a top currency reserve around the world. It's not going to be dependent on no more. Because we're seeing all the nations leaning towards a cashless society. They're pushing this central digital bank currency. They're pushing up the RFID and the CHIP as well too. I just want to add a sad note to that. But you're definitely going to have economical wars, trade wars between the nations, especially trade wars as of late. Been the Trump administration been using these tariffs on these nations. Oil imports and manufacturing goods, and that's what we've been seeing. So I just want to add an additional side note to that. But we're definitely going to be seeing increasing economical wars, especially in the year 2025 so far. It says the U.S. President Donald Trump has claimed that his threats to place the tariffs on BRICS broke up the economic bloc. Trump has commented at a Republican Governors Association meeting on Thursday, accusing BRICS of trying to destroy our dollar. He reiterated his voice to cut the trade with members of the groups if they proceed with plans to establish the common currency. Trump has made a number of threats regarding BRICS since being reelected in November last year. It says previously stated that the bloc efforts to reduce the reliance on the party currencies, bilateral trade, and boost the use of national currency has the dominance of the U.S. dollar. When I came in, the first thing I said, any BRICS state, and it even mentioned the destruction of the dollar, we will be charged 150% tariffs, and the BRICS state just broke up. We haven't heard from the BRICS state lately. Well, recent news article came out saying that they wasn't in the process of trying to replace the dollar, because that recent news article. So that's their response right there. It says Trump said in a recent statement, he claimed that the administration of his predecessor Joe Biden also perceived the bloc as a threat, but failed to act to stop it. He bragged, however, that one threat from him turned the tide. It's that book of St. Mark. Yep, this is the book of St. Mark, chapter 3, verse 24. And if a kingdom be divided against itself, the kingdom cannot stand. Right, because we're going to have geopolitical wars, political wars, economic wars, trade wars. And that's what we're going to be seeing against the modern day kingdoms rising up against one another. And if a kingdom be divided against itself, the kingdom cannot stand. Right, so modern day kingdoms being divided against itself, which cannot stand. That's what we're seeing. St. Mark chapter 3, verse 25. And if a house be divided against itself, the house cannot stand. So with that, this was just a very quick sit-down lesson of the prophecy updates as of February the 21st, 2025 on this Friday morning. So with that, hopefully this was edifying. And with that, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem Akakadash, Barakatham to the elders and apostles, Wa'akim Wa'akwaf. Until next time, I would say Shalom.